Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Park Rovers, and tonight it's just me and Dustin. Dustin, what's going on?
Not much. It's been a weekend of birthday parties, and none of them. The combined age was 4.
Oh
So,
yeah, thrilling,
exciting times.
thrilling times in Dustin's
Yes.
world. Well, yeah, I stayed put. I didn't go to a park this weekend, which I guess is a little rare for me. But I thought about going to Busch Gardens because they had the VIP party. But I'm still on. I did find out some secret information that if they have a test seat, and if you can prove that this is all theoretical.
This is all one person's Reddit account. So take it for a grain of salt.
Yeah, if you can prove your head is supported by the test seat's headrest and you're too tall, then you can potentially still ride. What's up, theme park lifestyle? Thanks for joining. We're talking King's Dominion in Virginia tonight, specifically the new land. So stick around. I'm going to show some photos from my trip last weekend, and we'll talk theming, and we'll talk some speculation as well.
Some speculation, something we don't often do as a channel yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Did I interrupt you, Dustin? Were you saying something?
No, I was. So with the Pantheon test seat, as long as you can prove that your head is supported by the headrest since it launches, you should be good to go. And your torso is decently short comparatively. Yes?
Yeah, that's right. Because I had no problem with Velocicoaster, which is the same model as Pantheon.
Right.
So I'm fully confident I can ride Pantheon. I just need the Busch Gardens people, the SeaWorld Parks approval to ride.
Let's tag them on this video. Be like, please, pretty please.
Haven't been since 2001 to Busch Gardens, I assume, even though we're talking King's Dominion tonight. But
I was gonna say, I think King's Dominion. I would guess.
Yeah, we got to switch gears. We're talking too much Busch Gardens. Well, before we do that, when are you going up to Busch Gardens to ride Pantheon?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we're gonna do King's Dominion Sunday. Is the looks right now. But I want to avoid since I didn't get to ride during previews, I'm probably going to avoid opening weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the next weekend. That's WrestleMania weekend. Maybe the weekend after.
What's WrestleMania weekend?
April 2nd and 3rd, but that's also Hershey Park's opening weekend too. So
okay. Yeah, I don't have plans that weekend either. So Kings. All right. Well, we're talking Kings tonight. So
since
2001, 21 years. I will say a lot has changed, but the most exciting thing is this new land that I'm in front of right now.
Yes, all of you with your hat too.
Yeah, my visor. You can see through my hat. This is the new merch. If you watch my vlog, I'm wearing what I picked up.
I did really like that shirt. I also liked the tri-colored hoodie.
Oh yeah,
it was white, but it had the two. Of course, the one that was like $85 or whatever.
Oh,
the most
expensive. 65. You save 10% though as a pass member, which I say 50% as a platinum SeaWorld Parks member. So 10% is not. I have essentially the same equivalent platinum pass for Cedar Fair, unless there's something I'm not missing or something I'm missing.
No, because you get into all the Cedar Fair parks, you get into all the SeaWorld Busch parks.
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll be in California next month, and I will spend a day at Knott's, which is what I might be looking forward to that more than Disneyland.
Have you been to Knott's before?
Oh yeah, I've been to Knott's.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I just love Ghost Town.
Oh yeah, Knott's is wonderful.
Yeah. So these pics are from let's see, basically when I was recording my vlog opening weekend. So this is last weekend, March 13th, Sunday, March 13th.
Yep.
where it was cold. It was not as cold as the 12th, the day before. which
you mean
which was
the opening day where they closed after 2 hours and two rides of Tumbili?
Yeah. So we had Dustin and I both. Yeah, we both had planned to go to both Cedar Fair parks. So I was going to go to Carowinds, and Dustin was going to go to King's Dominion.
Yep.
That didn't happen. We decided to stay home.
Yeah, at least you can speak to your experience, but with 4 kids, 10 and under, I feel like that probably would not have been the best time for us at King's Dominion.
I mean, I have to drive 2.5 hours minimum to get to one of these parks, and to go there for 2 hours. And since we didn't have media passes, there would be no way to ride Tumbili, which I can't even say that now. I have conflicting pronunciations in my head. We'll get to that, but Tumbili or Tumbili, depending on who you believe. We wouldn't have been able to ride that if I went up to King's Dominion. Cedar and Carowinds, meanwhile, doesn't really have anything new this year. Like, they have new drinks and stuff. So this is King's Dominion. The first thing you're greeted with, or I was greeted with last Sunday, was this sign, of course, specifying that, some rides might not be available because it's really cold.
With fancy little lights so that it can be displayed at night too.
Now this doesn't happen.
A couple signs.
Theme park lifestyle. You're still here. I don't know if they have these signs down in Florida. This is a thing for the Mid-Atlantic and the South. I guess, just the Mid-Atlantic and North Carolina, I guess.
Yeah, because I grew up in the Midwest where parks didn't open until maybe late April, but definitely early May or mid-May. So it was still a crapshoot on weather some of the time, but it wasn't anything like this. So.
Well, that's another thing to mention, is that these parks are opening earlier. And I mean, Busch Gardens Williamsburg is year round technically, just on weekends only, pretty much. But they are year round, if as much as you can be, I guess. Yeah. So it's nice to have King's Dominion open earlier. I mean, the good thing about on my trip is the sun was out, so you get shots like this.
Was it windy?
No, it was. I think it was fine. Yeah, I didn't experience any wind. Oh, I skipped ahead. You can see the snow on the sign.
It snowed the day before. It snowed opening day.
If
you check out some other vlogs from that day, you can see it. Yeah, I was on the sign. You can see.
Yeah, I completely admire Eddie Tainment. He has I think a 2-hour drive to King's Dominion.
Yeah, that's about what mine is.
I mean, props to him for heading out to the media preview of X-Pedition, but I wouldn't have done that even if we had media. So I thought that was cool to have the shot of snow on the sign. And I got my new plastic Platinum Pass card, which is the same style as last year.
Yes, that looks the same as my 2018 Platinum Pass.
Yeah, I didn't get a card last year. They just asked me if I wanted one. I'm like, I guess. So maybe they've been using this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Possible. So as you walk in King's Dominion, they have gift shops on either side, which I guess are supposed to catch you on the way in or the way out. Probably the way out, more likely.
Either way you come down International Street, you're gonna see you have to walk past the gift shop. Really.
Oh, we've got an important question to answer first. Grizzly and Shockwave. Grizzly's still there, right?
Grizzly, yes. Shockwave, no.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Shockwave.
My first trip to King's Dominion was specifically to ride Shockwave. It was the second to last day of operation for it. And I want to make sure I got a Togo stand-up coaster in my lineup before it was gone, because I walked past King Cobra at Kings Island back in 2000 and didn't ride it, and then I was kicking myself ever since. So yeah, Shockwave is gone.
Shockwave, a stand-up coaster. I'll put the link in the chat there.
Yeah.
To RCDB. So Shockwave operated from 86. There's no date there when it opened. till August 9th, 2015. I've only been on, I think, 2 stand-up coasters, but I would have loved to have.
Take that back. It was the 4th to last opening or operating day, but it was right about that time.
What's going on, Brian and Iad? Thanks for joining. It's a party now.
Oh no, we have people here.
We have people. We gotta button up.
Dang.
All right. Well, we'll take a drink and we'll keep moving. Tonight we are talking. We are going to get to this. We're going to get to Jungle Expedition. I'm just making my way there. So
you're kind of there now.
Yeah, I was kind of there. The gift shops, they don't have any, unless they opened this weekend. They don't have any merch, any Jungle Expedition or Toonbeely merch inside of Jungle Expedition. However, they have the merch inside the gift shops that are flagged on either end. And I can't really, there's no rhyme or reason to both of them. They have like the same merch, but a little different.
They have exactly. They have the same merch. Like it's all general stuff.
Yeah.
And ride specific stuff. And like there's some, I just remember I was looking for something Twisted Timbers, and some Twisted Timber merch was here, and some Twisted Timber merch was on the other one, and some overlapped, but some didn't. It was odd.
I feel like I have to go in both shops, and I guess that's what they want, but I'm just like, whoa, it doesn't make sense.
They'll be like, oh no, the one over on the other side has it. And you're like, fine.
So I didn't really like any of the Jungle Expedition merch, but I like that they have it. The mug was fine. I don't know. I could maybe sport the hat, but I wasn't really drawn to any of that stuff. I did like that that light blue shirt on the bottom left. I didn't pick it up. I didn't cop that. But if I was to get something, it would have been that one. But it's good to have. I love having the land specific merch. I think they have a huge opportunity here, but nothing really struck me. It feels odd to me. I know why they're pumping up Toonbeely, but I'd rather have more Expedition merch.
Yeah. Can you go back a picture? Because I saw, like, I was looking at that orange hat, but I don't love that Toonbeely is just like plastered across it. Then I saw on social media this weekend, there's another orange hat that has like a patch, kind of like this, but it's like off to the side with Toonbeely written smaller. I'm like, that one I didn't mind.
Yeah.
So
if you want to run down on the merch, I have my vlog. I go through pricing on pretty much everything that was available. I know I feel like they've released a couple of more items since then based off what I've seen this weekend.
Yeah.
So we'll be sure to follow up and whenever we get there.
I'll hopefully check it out next week.
So. Yeah, that'd be cool if you can do an update.
Yeah.
All right. So tonight we are talking this specific land that is brand new inside of King's Dominion. And I mean, I know you posted on the blog last year about this, and I remember watching the live stream of the announcement, and I was like, this has promise. I just honestly didn't know what to expect, and especially from Cedar Fair. Now,
track record has been lackluster at best.
Yeah. So it picked up with Carowinds, with Copperhead Strike, and I can never think of the name of the area it's in.
It's some junction.
Yeah. Blue Ridge Junction.
Ridge Junction. Yes.
Yeah. So I could tell from that land in Carowinds that like Cedar Fair cared.
Copperhead Strike itself. Just take out the land and the surrounding area. From the time you walk up to Copperhead Strike, through the queue, into the launch house, like that was just so well done.
Yeah, So I could tell at that moment. That was what, 3-4 years ago now.
That was 2019. Yep.
2019. Yeah. So that I think was the moment that Cedar Fair must have hired like a new design team. And they like just really got into it. Because since that, I mean, they only have like Ghost Town was probably their, still is their best themed land, right? But
easily.
I feel like they hadn't done anything like dramatically new since then.
You have the loose theming with Steel Vengeance, and like everything at Cedar Point has a very like oh, this is a mythical beast that flies over your head. This is a mythical beast that flies over your head. This
Griffin?
is a mythical beast that runs through the swamp. Yeah. But yeah, like nothing like this. Nothing like this.
Yeah. So this is like this is taking what they did at Carowinds and like times 3 or 4 instantly. So this used to be called Safari Village. Before that, I never made it to the predecessor to Safari Village. Did you get to see like the monorail that like
nope.
like the lion okay.
Nope. What was Shockwaves last year? That was my first trip.
So yeah, I hadn't seen it either. But they had like they had a lion safari in this section. And then so they had the lion safari with a monorail in this very area.
Like it was a real safari.
And a real monorail.
Yes.
Which is crazy. No?
The monorail used to be a big thing in the regional parks. And then Disney.
The
Disney's
Simpsons?
the only. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The Simpsons killed the monorail.
They predicted its demise.
A lion safari in this section. And so they retired the monorail, and then they called this Safari Village.
Yep.
And then now fast forward to today, to March 2022, and it's Jungle X-Pedition.
Well, and you used to walk through this arch, and it said Safari Village or whatever, and the volcano or the big mountain that was the mountain before the volcano. Was like that Smurf was the mountain. Frame. That's what this framed, and now it's this nice tree and a 4D free spin.
Yeah, right there. I keep jumping ahead. All right, so when you walk straight and then you go to the left, you can kind of see the map right here.
Yeah.
So this is the map. So I put out a video like 4 minutes today that took me all day to like get out. Don't ask. But this is the map of the land that was. If you go to the backstory, if you dig into the backstory, this map was created by the Professor Way, who founded this or discovered this land initially just because he crashed his plane into it.
The plane which showed up this weekend.
The plane that showed up this weekend.
And does not look crashed.
No. Very intact.
Yes.
It did have a fuel problem, I noted.
Maybe that
backstory. Yeah. So he drew this map apparently in the 35 to whenever he was rescued, and it's very detailed. And you can see Tumbili right there on the left, and you can see some mountain ranges. There's a massive lake on the right with a snake warning. So there's a bunch of detail in this map. I go into detail in the video I released today about the legend in the bottom left, which has 6 different temples. So this is the whole thing.
Keep that in mind. I also like how there is a coffee stain on it. So even though he crashed his plane, he still had enough time to brew himself a cup of coffee at some point in this excursion.
Oh man. So yeah. So he created this in-depth land. So he had like he had multicolor pencils, I guess.
Yeah.
He brought with him on his plane.
maybe his because it's his granddaughter, right? That reopened it. Maybe
great-granddaughter.
Great-granddaughter. Maybe she colorized it.
Yeah, well, it's possible. I feel like this has to be the untouched version. However, the map does say like they're gonna update it. Or he said he's going to update it as he discovers new things. So, but I mean, this is supposed to be the original map that this dude, Professor Way, created.
Yes.
It's a little fuzzy.
We will see. Lots of mysteries coming.
So there's 6. They call them temples. And there's 6 of them. And apparently, the ancient people that lived in this land worshipped or honored the fellow animals that they lived with by creating temples of them. which is honestly like that's a pretty good backstory.
It's a great backstory because it's simple theming, or it's theming that is very general, but they could also make it as complex as they wanted. Like well, I'm sure we'll get to what some of the rides are, but you can do something as simple as a scrambler themed to a spider, or you could, completely overhaul your bobsled coaster, which is something I did not expect to happen at all.
No, no one did.
And just, without even seeing it in person, I'm blown away by what they did with that.
Yeah. So one thing by the restrooms, this is also in the vlog, but by the restrooms they have the attraction posters.
Yes.
And this is something that I love. I love a good attraction poster. I've got these. You can't see them now because I got my green screen, but I have the Disneyland attraction posters on my wall.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, those ones. I have the Haunted Mansion one. But
no, we have attraction posters all over the place. So I feel like I need these 3, and then whatever other 3 temples end up emerging.
Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever want an attraction poster for a scrambler.
But darn it, there it is.
Arachnidia, take a spin. I want it. Yes. I want that poster. And then on the right, they have the posters from, well, they're not really attraction posters, but they're alluding to the past of when I didn't get to visit King's Dominion, but I can appreciate what existed before in these posters. So it's really cool. And they call it Lost World National Park because it's all gone.
Because all 3 of those were the volcano at some point, or were rides in and around the volcano.
Oh, I didn't even
because the Dews Cavern system, it used to be a Smurf land, something or other. Diamond Falls was some type of water boat canal ride through. Not quite sure about Kings Peak. That might just been what they called it in the beginning. Feel free to double check me on that one.
I'm looking right now. Diamond Falls was a Shoot the Chute by Intamin. Yeah, 85 to 2002. Interesting.
And then, Dews Cavern alludes to the Smurfs.
Yeah, I understood. That's the one I understood.
Yeah. That means we're old, Andrew.
No. I didn't even go to the park. Kings Peak is one I don't really get.
That's the one I'm not sure of either.
Okay. All right. Well, if you're familiar with that and you're watching this in the future or right now, let us know. We're gonna move on.
If you're watching right now and please let us know.
Yeah. Except I think we got Florida people on, which is cool.
Right.
Jungle X-Pedition. So the Way Foundation, you can see presented by the Way Foundation in the bottom right under the shrubbery, but above the guide. It says presented by the Way Foundation. So this is the official land map that the Way Foundation created to help people, guests like you and me, get to discover the land. So you'll notice they only have the 3 attractions, and they don't the map we were looking at just a little bit ago by Professor Way. That is more, there's a lot going on in there. So the Way Foundation has created this map. So the Way Foundation, a fictional, though you can believe it if you want, the Way Foundation, a fictional a group of people started by Professor Way's great-granddaughter, Alexandria Way, in the year 2000. She created this foundation to help people explore the land and share it with, share the land with others so they can experience it.
Hold on. Yeah. Because I'm still
okay.
We have a land.
Yes.
Where there are officially 3 different maps.
3 maps.
Because we have these 2 and then the park map.
Oh yeah. There's 3 maps.
What?
I think that's the max. Because you have the park map.
I thought that this map was the other map. And I'm like, oh, okay, they made a themed map, and then they made and then it's on the park map. No, they made a
backstory map, a current map based off so there's 2 themed maps and there's 1 official map. And so the backstory has Professor Way's map, the one we looked at before, and then this map is the great-granddaughter's foundation's map, which is the current map that you're supposed to go off of.
Right. This is the Jurassic World map. The other one was the concept.
You got it.
Okay.
Now you could use the official King's Dominion map too.
Right.
You don't have to. I mean, I like this map because it's
this map works. Like this is a great map.
Yeah. So quick overview of the land. You got 3 attractions. You can't really see the white on yellow, but Tumbili is the one sticking up. You have Reptilian in the back, and then the Arachnidia is over here. The Scrambler, I meant to say, and then you do have this mountain thing. I just realized
right behind Arachnidia.
Yeah, but it has a spider on it, so I don't know. So this map is the one likely to change because they have to add more attractions to it. So they're going to have to. I think Professor Way's map can stay the same, but this map has to change along with the park map, the official park map.
Mm.
So I only went inside the Jungle Market Eatery. You can see that on the vlog. I did not eat the burgers there. Sorry. But the Outpost Cafe was not open. Excavators Taters was not open. Explorer Supplies number 6 was not open. But I checked out everything else. So, you can watch that video.
I do want to commend them for, having 2 years to get this open, essentially.
Yeah.
And still not being able to hit that deadline. But they were able to have all of the rides operational. They had at least a place for you to get food. They had the merch elsewhere. So, on one hand, you had 2 years to get this done. On the other hand, good job getting as much done as you could so that it was functional the first day.
Yeah, it was. I think most people didn't really notice, to be honest. I think they had a food place. Everybody was happy. They're like, oh, okay, you can get food there. And they had curtains draped over everything that was closed. So the only thing I did try to go in the curtain of the gift shop. I was like, are you open? I could have actually walked inside of it because there was no one stopping me, but I did not. I didn't want to get permabanned from Cedar Fair Parks
not with this glorious land, being developed as we speak.
No. Anyway, let's get into Tumbili. This is where I have to talk about how to say it. And I was on Edutainment's live stream the other day, and I was trying to explain this over chat. And I'm like, Alicia Stella, who does the voice for the warning, the ride announcements on Tumbili, says it Tumbili.
She also has an amazing YouTube channel and vlog and she's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Orlando Park Stop is incredible. Yes. I can't even. We don't. Yeah, it's
we bow in their greatness.
Yeah. Alicia's, she's a theme park legend at this point. But so she does the voice of of what do you call it? Just the ride announcements, the warnings,
the recorded
precautions.
Spiel.
Yeah, the spiel. Spiel is a good word. We call it spiel. So she says Tumbili, like tumbling,
right? Which makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. But the King's Dominion has a whole ride announcement for Tumbili where they're very explicit, Tumbili. This is a Swahili word for monkey or something.
Sure. Yeah. When they released it back in August or whatever, and I remember writing the blog post for the website, and I it made sure it was Tomb, Tomb, Ayala, Tumbili. They made sure you knew how to say it correctly. So the fact that they have gone back already.
and they said that in the ride and in the official the announcement video, they're like, just so you know, this is how you say it. So everybody's got it, right? You got it. It's Tumbili. And then the whole crowd says it back at them. At the media event.
It. Yeah.
And then so apparently they tell Alicia Stella, who's recording the spiel, to say Tumbili. And then so now it's all messed up. And the official canon, from what I can tell based off DMing with Alicia, is that it's supposed to be Tumbili. But I don't want to say that because I sound like a fool. when the official word on the press announcement was Toombeely. So I don't know what to do.
Coaster Radio has affectionately called it Tumbly. I'm gonna go with that.
Tumbly. Okay.
Tumbly.
So it's a 40 free spin. It's a it's an off the shelf SNS 40 free spin. It's a coaster. It's fun. You flip sometimes. It's a smaller version of the 40 free spin, the 110. I think this is a 106. Or did I get that backwards?
Yeah, I'd be shocked if this was even 100 feet. I have not been on this style. I've been on 2 of the bigger ones, the ones at Six Flags. I think they're a blast. I know some people aren't a huge fan of them. I'll take this over the Crypt any day. And
I never rode the Crypt.
Oh,
I never rode it, but I appreciated the theming.
It was fine, but if you're going to replace that with this, it's a upgrade in my book any day.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it. And I'm technically too tall for this, but they let me ride it anyway. Actually, I'm at the max height, to be honest. Like I'm maybe an inch, a quarter inch taller than the max
if you
height.
wear water shoes.
But they don't check the max height on this one. And I've ridden this model before. There's no max height on some of these 40 free spins. So I don't know what's going on. I feel like it's got to be a limb thing, like hitting other people when you're tumbling potentially. I can't tell, like the headrest isn't like a thing really.
Well, like as I was watching this and, like there's no clearance spots, but like on Pantheon, there's a couple clearance spots that I'm like, yeah, I could see where a limb might be an issue.
Yeah.
I don't see that anywhere on this.
It's so if you look at this photo, it's really just, I think the only danger would be hitting the other guests on the other cars.
Okay.
I feel like that's the only thing, but I feel 77 inches is very arbitrary as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You have to be an NBA player to be at risk here.
I've
not to stereotype the NBA
on rides before. So
yeah, I mean, some of those are big fans of theme parks.
Huge fans. LeBron James in Cleveland was an hour away from Cedar Point.
Who's the? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then there's a wide receiver for Cleveland too, who's a coaster enthusiast. I know.
Oh yeah. There's a few of those out there. I was trying to think of the NBA player that Carly Wiesel had on her podcast. I don't think of their names, but anyway, yeah, there's a lot of tall theme park enthusiasts. I'm one of them.
Yes.
So one thing I thought that was funny, and I didn't even realize when I posted this photo, but that's an Intimidator.
I caught that immediately, and I wasn't going to call you out on it because you were pointing out like, oh, look at the bamboo around the loose article.
I just wanted people to know that you can drop your bag in before you get on, which is awesome because I appreciate that, not having to use a locker or anything. And in my back of my head, I realized that I knew that was an Intimidator sign because I remember being in the queue and being like, that sign's from Intimidator. But I didn't think about this when I tweeted it. Yeah, they're going to replace this sign, I'm sure, if they haven't already.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So this is how much they were rushing to get this land open, is they were reusing signs. No, technically Intimidator 305 is in the same land. It's just
is
not.
It though?
On the map,
you go through an archway.
If you go to the official
does that
park
delineate
map,
it?
If you go to the official park map, Jungle X-Pedition, Intimidator. So look at Jungle X-Pedition in brown.
Is everything left of Toombeely essentially then?
Yep.
Jungle X-Pedition.
Yep. If you look, the legend says so.
And this is where we're gonna fight, Andrew.
Yeah. Well, maybe not this map. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't actually specifically call it out, but you can see that some of the Intimidator 305 photo finish is clearly under Jungle X-Pedition. If you're looking in the brown section on the left,
there you go.
So Intimidator by nature is in Jungle X-Pedition.
But where is? Okay, this is and we're now looking at the third map of Jungle Expedition.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad you're keeping up.
And I love park maps. Like, I have a collection. Ask my wife.
Yeah.
But this is even getting a little ridiculous for me.
Yeah, you know, I'll take any map. So I love this, and I thought the ride was fun. I thought, you know, I could have flipped more probably, but hey, I know there's like, if you ride on the left, I guess you flip more. I don't know.
What side did you ride close to the Midway or close to Outpost Cafe?
Close to Outpost Cafe. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to think about that, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I flipped a couple of times. I was fine. That was fun. It was fun. It's funny. I was reading the ride specs by SNS, the manufacturer, and like there's like 3 guaranteed flips, and there's like 4 possible flips or something like that. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy.
Well, that's a great picture. The one before it, because you can see like on one side, you can see the brake fins on the side. So if you look all the way up top, you can see the brake fins closest to us, which will affect your spin, and there aren't brake fins on the other side. So like, even for re-rideability, I would never say that this is like 2 credits worth, but you get, it's like a wing rider. You get different ride experiences based on what side you sit on.
Yep.
So like, just, I appreciate little things like that.
This is my second wing coaster too, by the way. The only other one would be the Dollywood.
That's right. You haven't met a Cedar Point.
No, there's one of the Batmans as well, like the other SNS I've been on. So not many. I haven't been on many wings. So, but it counted as one, which is cool. It doesn't feel like one because you're not like jutted out. Like
no, I would not put this in the same era as like a Gatekeeper or a Wild Eagle or anything like that. But they're fun for what they are.
Yep.
Better than nothing.
You can see on the bottom right, you can see Home Depot. I have a photo of that.
I was going to ask if we were going to call that out.
We are.
Okay.
And it's not a dig on any of the design team that worked on this, because the land wasn't clearly not finished.
But it was open.
It was open.
It was open.
This is the Table Rock. What is it? Flat Rock. Flat Rock. Which, so looking in detail, this is not a great photo to examine. I need like a drone to get the shot. But if you go around, they have the 6 animals.
I was just counting that.
Yep. So they have those, and then they have a labyrinth, and you can get to the middle. So
are there any letters? Do they say any letters in the maze? Like, I'm like trying to make.
Not that I noticed. Not that I noticed, but I did appreciate this, and I like that it's on the map.
Right.
So you can see Outpost Cafe on the left, which was not open.
No, I'm hoping that's open next week.
It better be. I want to go to that Tin Goose bar. The Tin Goose bar.
First off, any bars in amusement parks, 1 thumbs up.
In a themed land.
In a themed land, 1.5 thumbs up. Themed bars in a themed land. we're approaching Oga's Cantina here, Andrew.
I think well, I don't know. There's Oga's Cantina is good. Is it great? I don't know. Trader Sam's is great.
But Trader Sam's isn't in a themed land themed park.
It's true. Giraffe Bar, I don't know if that even counts in Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, but that's one of my favorite theme park bars.
And you get to look at giraffes.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Nomad Lounge is good, but you don't get views of giraffes. You get, sometimes they have the cavalcade, the boats going by. I think Tin Goose Bar might be like a top 5 theme park bar.
Yeah. Well, let's see what the drinks are. Let's see what the specialty cocktails are.
Oh, here's my favorite photo, and I don't want to. I had to show this, and I'll have a drink right now while you all take this in.
Well, listen, you want to make sure that your structure is weatherproofed. So they were just showing that this is going to last a long time.
Yeah. So if you're in line for the bobsled coaster, Reptilian now.
I'm trying.
Formerly Avalanche. You get this view if you look toward Tumbili or Tumbili.
So if you go ride Reptilian, just admire all of the new work done on Reptilian. Don't turn. Don't.
All right.
Look.
I don't want to embarrass anyone that works at Cedar Fair. They're working. They're working hard. Let's get into Reptilian.
Where's Reptilian?
This came out of nowhere, as you were alluding to.
Absolutely. Like this one and Arachnidia. Arachnidia was a little scripted because of this one. This came out of left field. I thought they were going to keep this Avalanche and be like, oh yeah, there's a snowy mountain in the jungle. Because who the heck cares? But this is amazing.
Well, I liked the Avalanche because it had like the loose bobsled type thing. Like you got countries and it was like fun. But I mean, they amped it up, and it's funny because Avalanche, Arachnidia, all these names in my head. Arachnidia got like the promo like video, and this got like a blog post, and it just
this one came out of, like you said, it came out of nowhere. It had zero hype.
Yeah,
and it might be the coolest thing. Like, first off,
the sign is awesome.
Yeah. I agree. This sign, this logo, absolutely kicks butt. 100%. I want this on a shirt. I don't want
the artists that worked on these signs. Yeah, the artists that worked on these signs is incredible. There could have been multiples. So and the trains look great too. Just having fresh look. I love a bobsled coaster.
I have a soft spot for bobsled coasters.
Oh, you got to tell your story now while we're talking bobsled.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I've got a few.
So I used to work on a bobsled coaster. Disaster Transport at Cedar Point was the first roller coaster that I worked on. So being intimately familiar with how these types of rides work, like I've always had an appreciation for them. So like when I saw that this was getting love and wasn't going away, made my day, made my week even. So happy.
Yeah, and it's just such a fun ride experience. So the trains themselves, I want to describe one for people that haven't been on.
So it sits in a trough. There are stoppers on each side, but that car is free to move back and forth based on the momentum. I mean, there's definitely a dedicated ride path, but depending on the weight, depending on if the weight's in the front or the back of the car, it can have some variability. I have ridden a bobsled coaster after the rain, and let me tell you, that is an experience because you have to cycle through to dry out the track and make sure that it's dried out. This coaster is gone. I can tell the story now. There was definitely a time where I rode Disaster Transport, which was an indoor coaster, but it was originally not an indoor coaster. And when they built the building around it to keep the sand out, they put the air vents over the track. So when it rained, the water still got on the track and it couldn't operate in the rain, even though it was an indoor coaster. That is true. People say that's a myth. That is true. Because then like the train, the car will be going and it'll be fine. And then it hits that soft spot, that wet spot, and it fishtails just like your car would. And then it's like going back and forth. And my team leader at the time was like, if you feel like you start to go over, just duck your head and just like you'll go. No one's gone over yet, but I swear we've been close. And Lord, I swear we were close a couple times.
Oh man.
Yeah, but
that's crazy.
Love that ride. That ride always will have a soft spot in my heart. That's
an amazing story. So they delayed opening this when I was there because the snow and the ice were melting, and I now I know why.
You got to dry the track out. You got to send the car around, and then you hop in every once in a while to see if the track is dried out. And
in my head, I was like, I guess it makes sense because the car's like on its own.
It's like driving on a road.
Yeah.
You hit a wet spot. You fishtail. That's everything is happening here. There's no up stops. There's side wheels. There's road wheels. There's no up stops.
Wow. All right.
Mhm.
That's, I guess, how does the wooden bobsled coaster work though?
Same way.
Does the
So
wood
like
would,
flying turns at Knoebels, same
Yeah.
way.
all right.
It's just the trough is made out of wood as opposed to
You would think that
fiberglass.
would take, if that rained, it would like take forever to dry out.
Which is why I've never ridden flying turns.
Have you ridden
going to
flying
Knoebels
turns at
often.
Knoebels? Leave a comment.
have not.
Because
I've
neither of
tried.
us have. Neither of us have ridden
I've
flying
been.
turns.
The one time it was open and I was there, it was like a 45 or 50-minute line. And I'm
Ooh.
like, I'll get it the next time. Been back
Yeah.
3 more times after that. It hasn't been open.
Yeah. Let's see. I got 2 arachnidia. I had to take these from my video because I didn't take any photos of arachnidia. Even though this sign, another great sign.
Great sign.
Theme park lifestyle.
sign.
You know, you love the signs. This sign is great. This is a good sign. They all have great signs.
Mm-hmm.
Great job by the design team of Cedar Fair. And then the actual, you know, it's a scrambler. They didn't really do much. They repainted it. They put some stamps. You can't see them, but they have like some spider stamps at the bottom.
Now this is one of my favorite scramblers. Like this one hauls. So as long as they haven't like toned it down, this is a great scrambler.
Okay.
My 9-year-old wanted to come when he knew we were talking about Jungle Expedition. He wanted to literally come onto the podcast and talk about this because this is his favorite ride.
Oh, do we have to make time for?
No, it's well past bedtime. I told him that next when we go down next week, I'll give him a 3-minute segment in the vlog.
Okay, cool. All right, I want to make sure. I want to make sure he gets his time.
Colt will talk about arachnidia at length, and I'll go sit at Tingoose Bar.
Yeah, I would love to ride this if I go to Tingoose Bar first, and then I come back here and then ride arachnidia.
Yeah. No, usually it's I grab something at Parched Pig and we walk our way over here and they ride and I drink my beer leisurely.
I love Parched
But it is a good scram.
We'll get to that in a second. We'll get to I've saved the food and the drinks for last.
Oh, okay.
So we're just getting through the land, which is our main topic here. But this is like the very end of the main topic. We got to get into speculation too.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so arachnidia, I did not ride it. Fun fact though, Alicia Stella, supposedly the voice of Alexandria Way, the great granddaughter of Professor Way, getting this all, now that I've done my video explaining this, I feel like I got it all in my head. I'm just laughing at theme park lifestyle, spinning in a circle. I feel you. I know Mike Birbiglia has like a comedic bit where he talks about a scrambler. And he ate before.
My wife used to be able to do these, and now she can barely do a carousel after having 4 kids. So,
wow. Yeah.
Such a shame.
I don't think I've ridden a scrambler in forever, but I will ride this after we go to Tingoose Bar.
All right. Sounds good.
Whenever this is, it might not happen this year. I'm sure I want to get back to this land though, because it's awesome.
I think it'll happen this year.
It might. So Jungle Market Eatery, they have new burgers. I did not eat these burgers. I know Coaster Studios did.
Yes.
They have a chorizo queso, a mushroom and Swiss, a bacon cheeseburger. I was like, I don't really need a burger. And they didn't have beer. So
I have never had a good theme park burger. I love burgers. I love cheeseburgers. I love bacon cheeseburgers. I love stupid, goofy specialty burgers. I have never had a good theme park burger.
I'm thinking to myself, if I've had a good theme park, have you had a good theme park burger? Let me know. But
please.
I've definitely had a good like Walt Disney World burger, but not
in a theme park. Agreed. We've had great burgers at City Walk.
Yeah.
Not in a theme park.
I'm just thinking about the Steakhouse 71 burger right now at the Contemporary Resort. And you can get that. Pro tip. We're not talking Disney tonight, but
but I devolved. You're fine.
But you can get the burger in the lounge and you don't need a reservation for the lounge. However, you still technically need a reservation to park at the Contemporary, but you can park at the TTC and then make your way to Contemporary.
But you could still monorail over to Contemporary.
Yeah, so you got to park at the TTC, and then you could either walk through. It'd be a long walk, or you could just take the ferry or monorail over.
Yeah.
Food looks okay. Best burger in Iowa is at the Burger. I've actually heard about the Burger Digs.
Burger Digs also has great beer.
Yeah. So. It's been a while for me. I need to get back there. I only do the after hours events now at Universal, so
yeah,
because I'm fancy.
You're bougie like that.
Yeah. So I like that they added theming to the eatery. They didn't really uplift it too much, but they added the jungle theming, which I appreciate around the Coke fountain, the water.
It's something they didn't have to do, and they did.
Yeah.
Which, how many times? Like, I mean, I'm 36, almost 37 years old, and I've been going to parks most of my life. And there's so many places that they could have done something and didn't do something in so many parks, including Six Flags and Cedar Fair parks.
Yep.
And so just the fact that they did anything, I'm like, okay, they took the time, they thought about it, they did something. Is it beautiful? No, but is it?
I think it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, Dustin. Beautiful. Dustin, geez, you got high standards. This is beautiful.
I do, and I'm not even a theming guy.
I'm a theming guy, and I've never really seen a lot of theming around a soda fountain. And so this I took this photo, and I was like, wow, they have all this area over on the right that is not being used for anything but theming. I'm like, crazy to me.
Okay. All
right. We are now, let's see, where did I go?
That's Parched Pig.
No, we're I've Parched Pig. I've combined two.
Oh, is this?
Let me orient myself. Let me orient myself. Yeah. Okay. So this is the Grain and Grill Bar. Grain and Grill Bar, and they have several items available for you on tap. But more importantly, you can get, I'm going to skip over Parched Pig for a second. More importantly, you can get, this is where you can get the Tumbili tropical lager.
I think we're going Tumbili now.
Tumbili. All right. Well, I'll make the switch. I'll make the switch as of today. Tumbili tropical lager from Center of the Universe. This is one of a handful of roller coaster themed beers, and this one is actually pretty good. I rated it, I think, 3.5, and then I had it on draft and it was better, so I rated it 3.75 out of 5. Center of the Universe, a Virginia brewery out of Ashland.
I was gonna say like 10 minutes from the park, local.
Yeah. So very, really close. Inspired by a mutual love of tumbling coasters and tasty local beer. How many brewers at Center of the Universe have been on a tumbling coaster?
That's a great question. Can we get them on Twitter? Are they on Twitter? I'm gonna ask them right now.
I don't think any of them have been. Well, okay, we'll take that with a grain of salt. But I know they like beer. And so crisp and cool, light citrus infused lager. This is a great beer for like a hot day. I love it. This is exactly what a roller coaster beer should be when you have the seasons, primarily in the summer, especially for the regional parks up, especially near the Mason-Dixon line, Mid-Atlantic and North. Nobody's going to the parks in the wintertime. So you need a refreshing, crisp lager or IPA. Like you need something that's refreshing, light, not a high ABV. And this was perfect at 5%. And I love the can. But over at Parched Pig, you can get it on draft, which is why I took this photo. And I liked it better on draft a little bit more. But it was not on. Was it on this list?
They have a ton of number 14 there.
Number 14. Good eyes.
Yep.
There's no number 13. Unlucky.
Never is.
It out of the order.
You're not gonna put a tap on 13. It's like you don't have a floor 13. Come on. No, but like like if you look at this list, you've got the King's Brew IPA, which I think is great. You have the King's Brew Lager, which is fine. It's not my favorite. King's Brew they have a red ale, and they've had it was called Red Rum, and it was like a red IPA that they had during Haunt.
Okay.
So those are the ones that they brewed specifically for King's Dominion. They also have the Pocahontas, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And now they have the Tumbili Tropical Lager.
Yeah. So, I mean, I look at this, I see King's Brew, I'm like, solid. Lagunitas, I'm like, I mean, if I have to.
It's fine.
Yeah, I have to, it's fine. I see Modelo, I'm like, all right. If it gets to that, I will get there.
Was this your first
Pocahontas
experience?
Yeah. Modelo's like that's like it's a standby beer.
Yeah.
Pocahontas, as you mentioned, great. Hazy little thing, amazing.
Very good.
And then Tumbili. So I mean, now I've had every beer on this list, I think. And there's definitely a few I would skip, but you've got at least 5 beers that I love.
And you can get a flight here too.
And you can get a flight? I didn't even know that. Wow.
You can get a flight.
All right.
At least you have been able to in years past. I would assume that has not gone away.
So Parched Pig, I don't have a photo of this, but this is like the place to go at King's Dominion. It's over near Grain and Grill, sort of. And if you watch my vlog, you can see it. I go inside and I get my
by the log flume.
Tumbili. Yep.
Right
by the Shenandoah log flume.
On your way to Twisted Timbers. Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you get a hot dog right across the street. I just noticed that. I did not get one, but you could get a hot dog. You could walk over, get a beer. You're all set. That's your day. You're happy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Walk past the Liberty Bell.
Yeah, the Liberty Bell. I point that out. This is my ride home. I got lots of beer. We'll skip over that. We got to get to the speculation.
No, where did you go? Where did you go?
I went to Triple Crossing outside of or inside Richmond, I guess.
Yes.
Triple Crossing, great brewery. Let me go. We'll get back. We'll get to your comment theme park lifestyle. But I went to Triple Crossing right in Richmond. They have a few spots. But this spot has the pizza, which I loved. And then I got 4-ounce pours of 6 beers.
Oh.
And I'm like, is that 4 ounces? I'm like, I think he gave me more than 4 ounces. And I'm like, I drank like 2 full like carafes or 3 full carafes of water because I was like, I gotta drive 3 hours.
I was gonna say you had 3 beers at the park.
Some of those beers are like 12%. I'm like 4 ounces. I'm like, oh no. So I stayed there for a while. All right, so let's get back to this and let me get a photo.
Bring up a map.
Where did I get? I got Tumbili. All right. I looked it up. Google says it's pronounced Tumbili. So
I'm bringing up our blog post.
Yeah. So let's recap this. So the official announcement from King's Dominion when they announced this coaster, when they announced the land in 2021, summer 2021, I was watching. If anyone from work is watching, I took my normal, like a little break to watch the live stream. And I was
it was August. I was off. I'm a teacher.
On one monitor I was working, and the other monitor I had the live stream up from King's Dominion. And they specifically said multiple times, like, everybody with me now. Let's say Toom, B, Lee. And so everybody in the entire crowd says Toom, B, Lee. And the King's Dominion rep was like, so we got it now. And they're like, everybody's like, yeah, we got it. And that's how it went down. And then fast forward to today, the ride announcement by Alicia Stella. And we love Alicia Stella, but she was told supposedly to say Tum B Lee. And now that's canon.
Yep.
According to her, the DM with her, like, she says Tum B Lee is how you say it, which makes sense because you're tumbling.
To back you up, Tumbili in parentheses TOOM -BEE -LEE. That is from the official press release in our blog.
Yep. So there it is.
Who the heck knows?
We've
I'm
covered
saying
it all.
somebody.
All right, let's get to speculation. So,
All right.
so
can you bring up the other official map? Professor
the third
Way
map?
is,
Oh no. Oh, we
no,
got to
Professor
get
Way's.
I've got to have the maps on. Yeah. So
There we
this
go.
one I can't zoom in here, but
That's all right. We'll be fine.
yeah. Yeah.
Because the other temples, so we can see the animals down here.
Mhm.
We have the monkey.
You have the monkey.
We have the spider. We have the reptilian.
Yeah. So if we bring up this map,
Yep.
you have reptilian. You can see that on the left.
Mhm.
Tumbili, you can see that right on the right. You have arachnidia right above that. That's
Nice.
what you have now. You have 3 of 6 temples.
Correct.
This
Now-
map has 6 temples.
Now I'm looking at the animals down here. So we have a snake. We
Yep,
have
that's right
some
there in
type
the
of a
middle.
winged creature, and we have some type of lizard thing, iguana.
Mhm.
All right. So one of two things is going to happen with the anaconda. Either they're just going to repaint it and keep it, and it's going to be this cruddy coaster, meh.
Yeah.
Or they're going to get rid of it and replace it with another snaky coaster over that lake.
Mhm.
That's what I would like to see happen, but I don't see that happening if, like Theme Park Lifestyle says, we're getting something Everesty
Mhm.
on the volcano plot. So
Yeah.
they're going to repaint Anaconda, maybe get new trains like they did with Blue Hawk at Six Flags Over Georgia,
Mhm.
and get some best restraints and maybe a couple pieces of new track where it's really janky. But I don't see Anaconda going anymore like I used to see Anaconda going.
I think Anaconda stays. I think what they do. So that you can see the land, you can see how close Anaconda is. And so after doing my video today, I was like, I think I got my hand on this.
Okay.
Like Anaconda is basically, if you zoom in, I can't zoom in right now, but if you zoom in on the legend, it's on the bottom left, it says Anaconda on there. So they're not renaming Anaconda, and it's kind of the low hanging fruit. If the coaster is sound, they might replace the cars. They might they wouldn't retrack, but they might replace the cars. It was fine the last time I rode it. It wasn't great.
I've ridden worse rides in this park even that are still standing. So
it's got at least 5 years, probably
Easily.
more. Yeah. So I think they expand the land. Anaconda becomes part of the land. They have like some announcement, and they expand the land out. So that's 4.
And you think it stays Anaconda? It's not Anacondia?
Nope. It stays Anaconda 100%. They don't have to rename it. It's fine.
Perfect.
So the fifth, do you want to get to the 5th one? And do you want to talk?
Which one were you heading to?
I was going to talk volcano.
Okay.
Because let's address theme park lifestyle here.
Yes.
let's address our fan, and we're a fan of yours too. But let's address theme park lifestyle, and you can see this area below Flight of Fear, behind Arachnidia, above Reptilian, to the left of Tumbili. That was the old volcano.
That's the gold site.
That's the gold site. That's where they're going to build Everest, X-Pedition Everest, and they'll have a working Yeti in this park, and Joe Rohde will visit, and he'll be like, "How did they do it? How did they do it?"
Oh, Joe Rohde knows how to do it. They just didn't spend the money to do it.
He's busy working on the space. He's like Virgin Galactic, right? Yeah. So I mean, there's mountains. So the mountain here right near Arachnidia, if you go to the center, there's like it's hard to see, but above the lake to the left, there's a mountain in there, and that is he calls it Kilimanjaro on the map, and he's like, but I know it's not no relation to the Tanzanian mountain,
right?
But there is a mountain there and it's near Arachnidia. And
So-
if you look at the Ritual Park map, near Arachnidia would be a
There's a
mountain if there was one, and it was Volcano, but there isn't because Volcano was torn down. But there still is the part of the ride queue there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
what is the winged creature on that?
So that's it's called avian in the legend. If you're to zoom in on the legend, watch my video, the 4-minute one.
Yep.
I zoom in on the legend and it's called avian.
Okay, so honestly,
yeah.
I really like that name for a coaster, especially for a winged coaster.
Yeah.
On B&M, especially for a launched wing coaster from B&M, like Thunderbird. And I bet you it will be the fastest launched B&M. Probably not the longest. Might be the longest wing coaster, but I bet you it'll be the fastest launch that B&M has done, and they've only done 2, so they can, throw that claim out there. Fastest launch on a wing coaster. And it will probably have some type of mountain around it that it goes around and through, to harken back to Volcano. Because if you ever rode Volcano, blasting up and out of the mountain was the best part. And then
I assume so. I never rode it, but
it meandered for 30 seconds, and then as soon as you picked up speed, you hit the brakes.
So if you look at let me read the legend because I have it up on another screen, but I can't I can't share that. But so monkey, primates, tumbili, spider, arachnids, arachnidia, crocodile, reptilian. Those are the first 3. Fourth one, serpent, anaconda, scorpion, ? So that's anaconda. Fifth one, bird, avian, hawk, ? Sixth one, feline, panther, tiger, ? So I don't know about the replace. I don't know about calling that avian. I like your idea. But I was thinking, here's what I was thinking was flight of fear, birds fly, avian. I love the name avian, but if you make that flight of fear like a bird type thing, it makes sense. Like you don't have to rename it. It's indoors, granted, but
you'd have to retheme it, or
you'd have to retheme it, and that would be a ton of work. And I don't know if Cedar Fair is down for that. But you have Intimidator there has a tunnel to get to it, so it's kind of separated.
Yep.
But Flight of Fear is not, correct. And you could kind of tie that in. So I was thinking, and I could be wrong, but I was thinking the feline or the panther or the tiger could be the volcano replacement. But I don't know. It could be. I mean, it's either one of those.
I mean, and then do you put 2 launch coasters right next to each other?
I don't know. That's what I don't know.
3 launch coasters, because we have the not talked about backlot stunt coaster, formerly the Italian job stunt coaster. It's just chilling in this jungle.
That's the other thing is you have the backlot stunt coaster.
Panther.
I mean, you could totally take in backlot stunt coaster, theme that easily themable.
Easily. Well, here's the thing, it's already themed.
Yeah.
You could redo that theming. Like, I think in my brain, that's a out of control Jeep ride through the jungle.
Yep. Easy.
Not tied to any temple.
Easy. Hey, thanks, Catherine, for watching.
Awesome. Thanks, Catherine.
Man, I'm glad we make you laugh. We're making each other laugh, but
right.
If we make someone else laugh, that makes my day. Jeez.
It's even better.
This all sounds like Busch Gardens Tampa attractions: crocs, birds, lions, tigers. You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, how many different themes could you really come up with? I think like Walt Disney solved it. He's like, you go to the root, like human emotions, right? Like exploration, like fear. You get, that's where you have the Haunted Mansion. I don't think laughter's really been addressed besides what am I thinking?
Laugh floor.
Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and then what's the wacky indoor one?
Laugh Track at Hershey Park.
Laugh Track at Hershey Park. That's it, I think.
There we go.
But I think Walt Disney solved it with like the core lands, and then like we're just riffing off him. But I feel like there's got to be some, like, I know we've tried in the theme park industry. Not that I'm in the industry, I'm tangential, but I'm a fan. But I know we're trying, and I don't know if there's really too much area to branch out. So we've got this adventure land type area,
right,
which I still think, you still have a lot of room to explore. So yeah, it's ending up a lot like what you see in other parks. The difference, of course, being that King's Dominion will not have essentially animals roaming around like Busch Gardens Tampa, which is a zoo / theme park, right? So
and does it the best of anybody.
And I don't mean zoo as in a demeaning way, but that's what it is, right? So it's like, you could call that Animal Kingdom the same way. Like it does the same stuff. So and I know they really care for the animals at SeaWorld parks and both in Kings and Animal Kingdom. If you watch the documentary on Animal Kingdom on Disney Plus. So that said, King's Dominion's not going to bring back animals, but they can totally do the theming, which is what they've done here.
Well, and I think it's been proven enough in the past, especially in theme park world. You keep it as simple as possible, and you just throw in little details to make yours different from Disney's, different from Busch Gardens Tampa, different from Knott's, different from Six Flags Great America. Like as long as you can't claim copyright, but you can borrow, beg, and steal, like you're gonna find something familiar but new. And I think that's really like you said with Carowinds earlier, it's Granny's kitchen. You're going down home to Granny's farm. You're gonna have some drinks that maybe you're not old enough to have at the time, but Grandpa Joe says it's okay, and you're gonna go explore the barn and see what you find. And you
barn
find
is scary.
A snake. Yeah, you find a snake, so you run away from the snake, and if that means Copperhead Strike, that's not the worst thing.
Dinosaurs, so
they had dinos at one point, but it was a traveling exhibit.
I think you could introduce dinos with the Flight of Fear, like indoors, like
that's where I was gonna go with Flight of Fear. Instead of going outer spacey, you go like super prehistoric, like, and you find this like truly like hundreds of thousands of millions of years old prehistoric temple, maybe the first one from Site X.
Because that's my only problem with having the avian coaster be Flight of Fear, even though the name would line up, but you'd have birds inside. But if you're time traveling like Dinosaur Animal Kingdom, then you could do anything.
Yeah, true. I still like the wing coaster,
rock coaster.
Well, Reptilian's crocky, crocodile-ish.
Yeah, that's crocodiles inspired Reptilian as and other reptiles, I guess. But
it's not Manchu. It's not Manchu turning out over actual real life crocodiles, which I did. That was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Love Manchu. Sorry.
So if you look at this map, though, on this is one of the three maps, but you have space for, so Anaconda is the lake. You have the mountain range for whatever, if that's avian or if that's the feline one. But the third one, I don't know, like you have to modify the map for that significantly.
So here's what I'm thinking. Based on this map and not the other one, I think we're getting Anaconda. Right. The Professor Way one. Based on this one, I think we're getting Anaconda over the lake next year, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Avian had 2 question marks, right?
Oh man, I got to go back.
So Anaconda had 1 question mark.
Let me hang on. I got this up on another screen.
Bring that up. Yeah.
I can't bring it up the screen. So avian had 2 question marks, and the feline, panther, tiger had 3 question marks. So
right.
I think you're right. The question marks indicate the year.
I think so. So Anaconda next year.
Yes.
2 years, we get avian, which is some type of wing coaster volcano replacement.
Okay.
Flying around the mountains of whatever.
Love it.
In 3 years, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Backlot Stunt Coaster is getting rethemed to some type of panther chase, and they are going to leave Flight of Fear and Intimidator 305 just back there.
I think that's right, though, because, and I said this in my video, like it's just it'd be a ton of money to redo Flight of Fear. It's like, think about like Rock and Roller Coaster, what they're doing in France.
Yep.
At Walt Disney Studios Park at Disneyland Paris Resort. Like they took that down for like 3. Well, I mean, I know COVID, right? But they took that down. It had to go down for at least 2 years to retheme that on the inside. So if you take down Flight of Fear, you lose out on a ton of capacity in a coaster that works fine with it's a fine theme. It works. It doesn't work in the Jungle Expedition story, but it works. So I think your idea is more realistic.
That's just based on this map here, because it looks like you've got this waterfall coming from the mountains, but then like nothing past that. I mean, you could absolutely throw Flight of Fear back there.
That's a spider, but I mean, if you like squint. Let me bring up the other map.
Now we're comparing. See, this is why they shouldn't give us multiple maps, because then I'm just like, meh.
Jeez, which map is that? How do I get the other map? Yeah, the Qatar. Yeah, I think if you squint, you can see a coaster on that.
Based on this one, yeah, because you can see the mountain in the distance behind like Reptilian.
What about this one? There's no mountain.
This one is the one I'm used to looking at. And you just see blank area.
That's right.
And Backlot Stunt Coaster, which doesn't fit. And Flight of Fear, which doesn't fit. And Intimidator 305, which doesn't fit.
Yeah. So they have to like. So the thing here, the one thing I wanted to get to is what I think Cedar Fair is doing. And I really appreciate this, but what I think they're doing is trying to have like one immersive land per park.
Right.
Just like Knott's. They're taking the Knott's formula and they're trying to adapt that. And I'm probably reading too much into this, but they're taking.
I don't know if you are, honestly.
I think if you have one really good themed land, that's all you need in a regional park. And obviously, I would love for every land to be like super immersive and themed, like they're doing with Jungle Expedition and what they did with Ghost Town. But I don't think they can do that in a regional park, at least not yet.
Do you think this is can we take Ghost Town and apply that to other parks test?
Yes.
Okay.
This is it. This is, I think,
more so than Blue Ridge Junction?
Carowinds was dipping your toe. There was no commitment to story there significantly anyway. They only had one attraction. Like they had a new restaurant. It was honestly like But honestly, they had a flat ride. But honestly, like I feel like I'm not really sold on that story, but I appreciate the work they did to like have a theme that worked for the Carolinas. But this is the theme. This is a theme that you could really build upon. Yes. And so I think they might have. Well, I like the land at Carowinds. I don't think they can build on top of that too much more. I think you kind of max that out. Like it just doesn't.
You're also landlocked there too.
You're also landlocked because you're right against the water park,
which you can see very clearly from the queue of,
and from on Copperhead Strike, but
yes,
and I I love
not
a
to say
water
you
park
can't
too,
see
but
Dominator from Tumbili. Tumbili. I will say this right
Tumbili.
eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah. So that was one thing I wanted to mention was I think this is the formula. I think this is what they're going to try and I don't know how feasible it is at every Cedar Fair park, but
Well,
I
I mean,
think
it's at Cedar Point, you've got the Frontier Town area that you could flesh out like Ghost Town if they wanted to. As like at Carowinds, you're probably not getting very far.
Sure.
Dorney, you don't really have a spot.
Okay. I haven't been to Worlds of Fun or
I
Valley
haven't been to
Fair.
Worlds of Fun either, or Valley Fair.
Michigan's
Adventure, I just want to ride. We don't have immersive lands in Michigan. We're begging for rides that were built in this millennium.
So California's Great America, Canada's Wonderland.
Canada's Wonderland, you could probably do this, make some Yukon territory.
Oh yeah, that would be amazing. I got to get up there. And then Kings Island is the one I'm thinking of. Like I'm like how
they have that little German section. Maybe they could expand on that. I don't know if you could.
That'd be good.
Or you could do you could kind of bring the Beast and Mystic Timbers. They've got that Rivertown backwoods area. Maybe envelop that.
I think you're right. I think Rivertown. Well, you could do both. Why stop at one?
Right, because you've got Diamondback too, wrapped up in that.
So I think this is the formula, though. I think that's what they're trying to do. But I mean, maybe it's not cut and dry. Like we want to have one really immersive themed land per park. But I think this is it. Like you invest in specific areas of the park that exists.
Yes,
that makes sense. You theme around, one or two attractions that exist right now, and you build around that. And I think that's it. I don't think it's that deep, and I think that's a really good formula. And
it's fresh IP, so you don't owe DC anything, because you're using Batman and Superman.
So this is the question.
Yes, I think this is the question because, they added a roller coaster, but they didn't add a roller coaster that you can't ride 3 hours up the road.
Yeah.
At Six Flags Great Adventure. So, is this going to be a draw? And I think, Catherine, that is the $1 million question. If this is popular and this area is packed 90% of the days that they're open, I think they have to view it as a success. If people come in and they're like, oh, okay, that used to be Avalanche. Okay, that's a fun coaster, but I don't need to ride it more than once. And, this food is fine, but I can go over here and get better food.
Yeah.
Then those question marks the next 3 years, you're going to become not anything.
Now, and this is a tough question because I feel like this question is like all of the regional parks. If you care about theming, this is the question that could make or break it. Will the general public come because of theming? Do they care? And I don't know if I can answer that. I replied to BGW fans, so the Busch Gardens Williamsburg fans website, and they were commenting about the difference in theming between Pantheon and Jungle X-Pedition. And I said, I'm going to read this verbatim, but credit where it's due. The Cedar Fair design team has done an incredible job in the past few years. Jungle X-Pedition is no accident, but the guest response still must determine its success. Hopefully this leads to more creativity and attention to detail in regional parks. But I'm not sure. I don't know.
I am hopeful but I'm not sold.
Yeah.
Like here, perfect example. I live in Maryland.
Yeah.
I went down to Carowinds specifically to ride Copperhead Strike. I did not go down to Carowinds because of Blue Ridge Junction.
No. Nobody went to Carowinds because of Blue Ridge Junction.
I also went because Fury's there, and Fury's absolutely amazing. If you haven't ridden Fury, you need to get on Fury like yesterday. Yeah. But I knew that I'd already been there. I'd been there the year before.
Yeah.
But I went back strictly to check out Copperhead Strike. So I think this land is also going to be contingent on they need a headliner attraction. And I'm not saying that has to be a coaster, but knowing Cedar Fair, it's going to be a coaster, and it's probably going to be a coaster from B&M, which is great. They're amazing rides, but it needs to be something that's going to draw people in and away from Busch Gardens, or in addition to Busch Gardens.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's the answer. Like you probably can't get the general public to come to a park just because of theming. You have to have a headliner, and that will grab them, and then they'll appreciate the theming. So I wanted to bring this up. One difference between Carowinds. So Carowinds and King's Dominion, I'm basically equidistant. I can actually get to King's Dominion faster than Carowinds from Raleigh. But I think, like, I view Carowinds and Copperhead and the, what was the area called? The Blue Ridge
Junction.
Blue Ridge Junction. I'm never going to remember that. But
that's the problem.
That's the problem. But I'm never going to view that area as an area I want to hang out with. I view that at Carowinds, it's still Harmony Hall. I'm like, I'll go to Harmony Hall. I'll sit on a rocking chair, have a beer, or one of the new cocktails they released this year. I would love to do that. I'm not going to hang out in Blue Ridge Junction.
Delay in Harmony Hall.
Harmony Hall, great place. They got poke bowls, not balls. I just came from Hawaii, and I'm like, I don't think I can have an Americanized poke bowl again.
Probably not,
because like the poke bowls in Hawaii they don't have any of the lettuce and stuff. It's just like rice and fish, and I'm like, that's amazing. Anyway, side note. But this is a land with the Tin Goose Bar. You introduced the Tin Goose Bar. Yeah. I think I could just come to King's Dominion, go to this land, and leave. Come to the King's Dominion, go to this land, and leave. That's my opinion. I probably would only escape. I would only go to the other bar. And I mean, Twisted Timbers is great, but I mean, that hurts I don't know what it is. It's something with my height, but it just like hurts my thighs too much. I can't ride that. But I love Flight of Fear too. So I might venture over to Flight of Fear and Intimidator, but for the most part, I would stay in this land.
I could see myself spending a lot of time in this land. Twisted Timbers is absolutely amazing, and if you go to King's Dominion and you don't ride Twisted Timbers when it's open, I might need to leave this.
so I forgot. I have to see the Singing Mushrooms because
they're on the way.
Yeah. Then ideally they get moved to Jungle X-Pedition. They're like
mushrooms are not a traditional jungle vegetation.
They could be. I mean, I'm sure there's mushrooms in the jungle.
Yes,
I think we're at an hour and a half almost, and we're talking about mushrooms in the jungle.
We're talking about mushrooms in the jungle.
So as a theme park lifestyle, I'm looking at a map from King's. I assume that's King's Dominion, not King's Island. Back from 2008, it looks like what Dustin stated that's what they are going to do to that area. You can really see it clearly in that 2008 map.
All the way back in 08. Hold on.
We got to bring up the 2008 map.
You know that's where we're going.
King's Dominion 2008 map. You have a link? Oh, I found one on CP Food Blog.
Yep, that's the first one that comes up for me. All right. So if we bring that up here.
Hongo, yeah.
No, Backlot Stunt Coaster is still the like redheaded stepchild of this whole area.
Yeah.
Because you can throw some different facades up in front of Flight of Fear and make it work. You can throw some different theming to the arch of Intimidator 305 and make it work. Backlot Stunt Coaster is the one where if they're going to keep it, they have to throw a lot of money into redoing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they're going to.
I don't think that would take as much. I don't think that would take as much money as Flight of Fear. I feel like you could do that in an off season. I feel like you could retheme Backlot. No, I'm talking as an outsider. I think Flight of Fear would take a minimum, like it'd have to be down for a year minimum.
So the problem with, I could see Flight of Fear being done in an off season, especially if they like closed it around Labor Day, because what you don't have anything during the ride. During the ride, it's dark.
That's right.
Like you're launched into a box. You can see it.
You don't have the road signs like Rock and Roller Coaster.
Right. But you could do you could update the queue. You could retheme the queue to some temple that you find dinosaurs in. I loved that idea. I could see you like a slightly extended off season. I could see Flight of Fear being redone.
Yeah.
Backlot Stunt Coaster is literally you're driving through a city on Mini Coopers. How do you change that without completely going, like you can keep the track, but you're getting rid of almost every piece of theming. Like you launch into a parking structure. Come on.
Well, so if you look at the map here that we've had up, like I feel like that makes a lot more sense now. To me, like you just have to, what you have to do is like partition off Flight of Fear somehow. I don't know how to do it. Like it has to feel like you're leaving the land, but then you have Intimidator just sticking out there. It's just a problem for me. Like thematically, it doesn't make any sense.
So, none of it, and it's a dead end.
Yeah.
And it's great, but not great.
Yeah, but the open area when you're out there, like by Anaconda and Backlot, if you can, you just theme all of that. You theme all of that.
Yep.
Perfect.
All of that is Jungle X-Pedition.
Perfect. And
then you have a new coaster coming in 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
To be the headliner.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame.
It's a shame we're not on the team.
Well, what I would do, I would still like going back to my video I did today, I would still take Flight of Fear and I would retheme that because you got the tunnel to Intimidator. You don't have to touch the tunnel.
That's fine.
Like a port. It's like a portal. It's like going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
Once you go through an archway, you're fine.
You're just going over to Intimidator land.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like that's fine. Like I don't know.
It's the Richmond Speedway.
Yeah, I feel you have a miniature Dale Earnhardt land. It lives forever. I don't know, but
throw the Peanuts 500 back there. You're fine.
A Peanuts 500? What?
Yeah, that's a ride.
Oh, jeez. All right.
They already have it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're about an hour and a half over. Let's see one more. What would be awesome if we could add a ride or a roller coaster themed jungle cat in the Jungle X-Pedition.
Might happen. Backlot Stunt Coaster, I think, is going to be some type of panther theme.
Oh no.
Panther running through a jungle.
Oh.
Calling it now. Just opening in 2026. Mark the date.
I mean, that sounds awesome. Yeah. I mean that would be cool, like indoors, like that. Another rethemed Flight of Fear.
Or that.
But yeah, I just really want to retheme Flight of Fear. I think that's my thing. All right.
Keep the alien one at King's Dominion and have this one be something different.
I'll keep pushing for a Flight of Fear retheme. Well, with that, I think we've done it, Dustin. I don't know how long we could probably talk forever about Jungle X-Pedition.
Which map are we going to look at though to talk forever?
I can't. I like the. I like the original map.
That's my favorite
But
map, I think.
yeah, it's the best map, and I could look at this forever.
Yeah.
I'm just confused. So what I realized was he actually discovered Arachnidia and Reptilian, but the Way Foundation rediscovered it, and that's what led to this map. Because he has Reptilian and Arachnidia, and he also has Anaconda as mentioned here. So he just did not discover the other two.
All right, we need to tighten up the story a little bit.
Yeah,
if we're gonna get the GP here,
it's pretty good. It's a pretty good story.
Overall,
yeah,
yes, it really
overall. So I think this map changes. This map changes. But I don't think Professor Way's map. I don't think this map changes at all, which is weird to me. If you introduce, like,
I think this map is changing too.
You think it's changing?
I think they're gonna find new versions of this map.
All right. Well, one more comment. They can call it Gwazi the Panther Coaster.
Oh, go back to original Gwazi? Yes.
Well,
that would be great.
It's probably some trademark thing that Cedar Fair cannot.
I don't know. It might be Swahili.
Maybe it's fine. Yeah, if you come up with an alternative name, or just maybe you call it Panther, and then.
What if we did GWASI? Gwasi.
Gwasi.
Gwasi. And then we'll change the pronunciation halfway through.
Yeah, you should. You tell everyone to pronounce it one way, and then just completely change it.
Oh no, it's Gwasi.
Oh man.
Right,
well, it's been fun. It's been fun. I'm out of my beverage of choice and down to water. We've talked about we've talked about all three maps. We've talked about the beer that's available.
All the beers that are available.
We've talked about speculation on what the 6 temples will be, or the 3 other new temples will be. So I think that's about it. Let's talk about our future plans here now.
Right.
Let me get rid of. Sorry, Daryl. Got rid of your comment there. So let's talk about what's coming up. So Dustin, you mentioned you're going to King's Dominion.
I think the plan as of 10:37 p.m. on March 20th is King's Dominion next Sunday and Hershey Park opening weekend, either the Saturday or the Sunday. So those are the next 2 weekends for me.
So March 27th, next weekend, you'll be at King's Dominion, theoretically.
I'll be at King's Dominion in Jungle X-Pedition, hopefully at the Tin Goose Bar.
Yeah.
As long as it's open. But regardless, bringing updates.
And then April 3rd, you're at Hershey. Okay.
April 2nd.
I'm jealous of both of those. So I could get to KD next weekend. I don't have any plans yet. So
I'd say
there's a chance. There's a chance.
Am I locked in stone?
I also partially just want to go to like south of the border and do a vlog from there, but we'll see. We're doing yard work. So, but then my next confirmed plan is Carowinds, the weekend of April 8th through 10th. I'll be doing a vlog from the state line celebration, or at least that's the plan, assuming everything holds up. And then my next plan after that, and I'm not going to be vlogging from there, but I'm going to go to Vegas and I'm going to ride every coaster I can to get all the credits, including New York.
There's only
whatever.
Are there 3?
I think there's 3 operating because the one at Buffalo Bill's Desperado is not open yet.
That's also an hour out of Vegas.
Yeah, but we're going to be traveling. Well, rent a car. We're going to stop in Barstow. To see all the sites there, Route 66, and the inspiration for Knott's, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll go to Knott's that same day, theoretically. It might be crazy. And then we'll be at Disneyland, and I know I have a reservation at Trader Sam's, and then we'll be at Disneyland.
You actually got a Trader Sam's reservation?
That's right. I know how to. I did it. Like, I woke up early. I got the reservations. It's not that hard. So then we have 2 days at Disneyland, and then I'm flying back. So that's my April, and that's about everything on the docket for me. I do have plans into May and June, but
yes.
But like all the Busch Gardens festivals, of course.
Yes.
The food and wine hits at the end of April.
End of April, right? End of April through early June.
Yeah, so I'm planning on like April 30th, but that's all the plans coming up, and so that's about it. That'll do it for tonight, I think, Dustin.
Yes.
Yeah, it's getting late here on the East Coast, so thanks everyone
we have
for
to work in the morning. So,
yeah, I gotta drink some water and get ready for the workday. But thanks everyone for watching. Everyone that's joined us for the first time, really appreciate your support. And go ahead and watch my backstory, quick 4-minute YouTube video I released today. And we'll have more content coming up on the YouTube channel and the blog and the socials. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.
Bye.